This week's trade of the week is to go long Bitcoin. The reason is that last week we managed to close above resistance we've been seeing since the beginning of February, as you can see here on my chart. And that positive close last Wednesday does mean that probably that resistance area has been broken through. Now, since then, we've come off on these geopolitical events happening in the Middle East. But I've got the distinct impression that once again, people are becoming more interested in cryptocurrencies. And therefore, I'd like to go long Bitcoin around current levels at 67,750 with a stop loss below the early February low here at 60,090 and an upside target around the previous resistance area where we sort of traded sideways, as you can see here in December, around the 88,000 mark. So this is this week's trade of the week. Now, last week, as you may know, we stood aside because of what happened with regards to the Iran war. And there's just so much volatility. It was very dangerous to put a trade on. But the week before that, we went short the euro against the British pound sterling. And I can show you here on my chart that we nearly got stopped out, but our stop placement was above the December highs here. So it was well placed because you can see we got quite close to the stop, but we didn't get stopped out before the currency pair declined as I expected it to. And now it has hit our downside target, this horizontal line here, as you can see. So that was, I think, 86.50. So on this trade, we made about 3% profit. Now, this year, so far, I haven't done well at all. I've been wrong 4 times and I've only been right twice. But despite that, we're only down around 2.5% year to date. And that's why it's so important to only risk 2% of your capital per trade, and also to make sure that your potential reward is much greater than your initial risk. So if you get, a 3, 4, 5% profit and you're risking 2% every time, you only need to be right about half the time, and you'll still make a nice double-digit profit by the end of the year, or you should do so. So that's our approach with Trade of the Week. And as I say, so far, we're still down slightly, but it's looking better than it did last week. Thanks for watching.